Okay, the purpose of this video is to show where we are in a typical deal for an insurance company in the Northwest market in the Spring area, looking for about 1,200 to 2,000 square feet of office space. We want to show the money. We want to show where the savings are and if it makes sense to do a deal at one particular location. So this location we're looking at is a retail spot, and this is a quick shot of the actual proposal itself. We're working a deal with Transwestern. It's one of their more popular retail locations here in Windermere Lakes. So I think it's a solid offer that we got, but let's break it down and see what we have here. We proposed, well, we can start off with the landlord proposal. They started out with an effective rate or an average rental rate of 22 bucks a foot. That's what they wanted. Now you can see the average is 22 because they're starting at 20 bucks a foot and doing a dollar bump every year. That's a little bit more. It's more aggressive than the usual bumps in the market, but because they're starting so low, they're trying to just get the effective rate up to where they need it to be. Because of my relationship with the broker, I know where the bottom is on this deal, and I'm pretty confident in telling you that the bottom is close to this effective rate at 22 bucks a foot. Now, what that breaks down to as far as monthly cost, we're at $3,000 a month for year one, 3167 for year two, 3302 for year three, 3438 for year four, and 3575 for year five. That's where the landlords are proposing the deal right now and currently in the negotiations. Now, if we look at the market itself, the market is at 25 bucks a foot as far as your base rent instead of 20 bucks a foot. And so the market also, with the same dollar bumps in this particular part of the market would start you at 35.75 for year one, 37.09 for year two, 38.44 a month for year three, 39.80 a month for year four, and 41.17 a month for year five. So the difference in the landlord's offer versus the market rate is about $5 a square foot per year. That's the difference. Monthly, you're saving about $541 a month right now. That's the savings right now, before we do anything else. For over the course of 5 years, that's going to be a savings of $32,500. That's if we accepted the landlord offer right now as it is. That's not including the abated rent that they're proposing as well, which is 4.5 months or $13,000 and $13,650. If you add this number, which is the amount of money we save from the free rent that they're offering, plus the rent differential, which is the amount that we're below market, you're looking at well over $40,000 in savings on a 5-year lease. That's another employee. That's half of Mercedes, half of one. That's 40,000 in your bottom line that we're saving right now. So I feel like we're in a good spot. But let's confirm that by looking at where they are compared to where we proposed. Our proposal was much more aggressive. Our effective rate or average rental rate was 20 bucks a foot as opposed to 22 bucks a foot. We started at $18 and had dollar bumps every year. Now, when you looked at our monthly costs, we have a proposal to keep us in the sweet spot for an insurance company. They do want to stay between $2,000 and $3,000 a month, considering the fact that you have to pay utilities. So, and we asked for a 9 months abated rent or $25,000 worth of free rent. This helps insurance companies get adjusted into the space. We proposed that. The landlord wanted to meet us halfway in this case, and we're going to get into the magic in that later. But let's get to the brass tacks. The total cost of our rent proposal was $185,215. The total rent for the landlord proposal was $198,215. Now the difference between our proposal from the tenant and the landlord's proposal is we're just $13,000 off of the proposed rate, and we're only $11,000 off as far as the free rent allowance that we want. Those are very, very tight numbers for such a small deal. It's a true indicator that the landlord wants to get a deal done. Now, what you can't see from this spreadsheet is how we got the numbers to be where they are. These numbers are in a vacuum are meaningless without context. So I do want to give you the context here. This particular landlord that we're dealing with in the Cyprus market is in a unique position because they are able to be more flexible on their space than many of the competitors nearby. Many of the competitors like NewQuest and some of the other brokers, they're bound either by the rules of the bank, the real estate investment trust, or just a flat out aggressive posture where they just don't want to move. And I tell you time and time again, the person who has the most strength in any negotiation is the person that can walk away from the table if they don't get what they want. We've looked at every single option in this marketplace. We've identified landlords that are willing to compete for the business, and they're proving that with these numbers here, with abated rent as high as 4 or 5 months versus the market, which is just two. You know, this translates into more money for my client to have to use for their business expense. It results in reduced liabilities as well. It's just an all-around great place to be. The only way you get here is by being comprehensive in your approach. And because we were comprehensive in our approach here, we're about to yield the benefits of close to $50,000 in savings on a 5-year lease for a very small space at 1,300 square feet. That's very substantial. It's a substantial amount of savings, and my client can take that straight to the bank.